Hello everyone, this is Tormuse, and today I'm picking up where I left off in Disco Elysium, and Dev, welcome to the stream. How did you find your way here? I, whenever I start a stream, there are certain places I'm in yours. Yeah, I know. It didn't even it didn't even do the thing where it alerts the streamer role yet. You must have been like watching the channel at the time or something. I posted that I was about to stream, and I just there are various servers that I post the announcement in, including dev server. But yeah, anyway, continuing where I left off. Where's my skill? Drugs freeze learning caps, but they're bad for your health. Bad with asterisks around them. Anyway, yeah, we last left off. We were talking to Morel, the cryptozoologist, and I got experience for asking about one of the cryptids, but I also got a note saying I can't ask him about any more cryptids unless like I can ask him about a specific one, and and his wife Felina was talking about specific cryptids. So I'm like, you know what? What if? Now hear me out. I mean, time doesn't pass unless you're doing something with like having a conversation or whatever. So I think I can just freely run back to the other island to ask her about cryptids and then come back again. Gary, the crypto something kind of worse. Yeah, I know. I noticed the crypto fascist there. I probably talk to him at some point as well. Anyway, yeah, so let's just run back and talk to her. As Dev commented on the last stream, like, I swear, Kim, this is gonna. Oh, that's the vehicle you're talking about, I guess. Ah, there are tracks leading to it. Okay, well, tire tracks. I get it now. I'll get to that. I'm gonna investigate everything over there eventually. I just want to come back and do this because I don't feel like I'm trying to, you know, go in a pattern. I don't want to backtrack. Well, I don't want to. I just don't want to miss anything over there. I want to finish my business with Morel, the cryptozoologist. And, you know, quick, tell me more about cryptids. Exactly. I swear this is valuable, Kim. Like, yes, I know we're investigating a murderer, but which clothes have I got on? Okay, I got the drama bow tie on still. Yeah, that should be fine.
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again.
I ran to your husband because okay. I ran to your husband because let's just open with the cryptid. That's what I came here for. Tell me about cryptids. Oh, and by the way, we found your husband.
You know, to hell with it. Let's have more cryptids.
I'm sorry, it's funny. This kid was like really annoyed when I brought up cryptids before. Embrace the cryptids, Kim. Yeah. It's just Kim is so easygoing. He just lets me take the lead in everything, even when it annoys him.
Of course, officers. Is there a particular cryptid you two are interested in learning about?
What's the biggest cryptid?
Hey, you promised you'd only ask about one cryptid.
Yeah, and you said to hell with it, let's have more cryptids. Sorry. But Kim, don't you want to hear about another cryptid too? Or, right, okay, we can move on for now. It'd be dishonorable to renege on the promise? Dishonorable? I'm getting mixed messages here, Kim. You just said, let's have more cryptids, darn it. But Kim, I get experience. I get experience points for asking about the cryptids. I need to. I only have 4 level ups available to me at the moment. This will get me. This has a chance of getting me 5% toward another level up. These conversation trees cannot have been easy to code. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Ah, ah. Mixed messages are dishonorable. Like the fact that, okay, these little parenthetical comments here um, imply that there are extra consequences to reneging on my promise. So, and it's true, I did promise I'd only ask for one, and I kept that promise at first. I kept the promise for a while. Haven't I kept that promise long enough? Isn't there a statute of limitations on cryptid discussion related promises? uh, okay. Well, you know what? We'll save the more honorable conduct for future runs, I guess. Let's ask her. I want to ask her about the cryptids.
The lieutenant pauses thoughtfully. Something in him breaks.
Ah, fuck it. Let's have more cryptids.
we've gone from we've gone from to hell with it to F it.
Well, the biggest cryptid is, of course, the horrible giant of Kokonur.
Horrible giant, you say?
The giant lives in the most arid parts of the vast Kokonur Desert in South Samara, casting a strange light across the barren wastes.
What do you mean by strange light? And just how big is it? Is it dangerous? What do you mean by strange light?
Mirage or psychogenous luminance.
She does not elaborate the nature of this luminance further. Casting a strange light? What, the giant itself casts a strange light? Like it induces hallucinations? Okay, whatever. Just how big is it? Or is it dangerous? Just how big is it?
No one knows for sure. It is like an awful mountain appearing from below the horizon and expanding to cover almost a third of your field of vision.
But conveniently, it creates hallucinations so you can't see it. Is it dangerous?
The towering luminosity of Kokonur is a bad omen in local folklore. Some say it's a fata morgana, others, fate unimaginable.
Fata Morgana. I have never heard that term before. I am curious. Fata Morgana meeting. A mirage consisting of multiple images as of cliffs and buildings. They're distorted and magnified to resemble elaborate castles. Okay, often seen near the Straits of Messina. Okay, huh, neat. Interesting. Learn something new every day. A fate unimaginable?
Who are you? No animal can be that large. It's a mirage.
The lieutenant interjects.
That's what makes it so peculiar. A species surviving at the very limits of scientific law. The giant of Kokonur must be the largest animal the planet can support.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sort of with Lieutenant Kim here, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. Um, like, something that size, like, what would it eat? You know, like, how could you not find such a thing, you know? Like, there's so many questions that just make it fall apart and not make any sense. Oh well, anyway.
There are limits, you see, to how large a metabolism an ecosystem can beget. Some say a gravity anomaly below the Kokonur Desert might allow the creature to grow to these gargantuan sizes.
A gravity anomaly now? Like you know, like But I mean, yeah, I mean, it's a fair point. There are limits to how large a metabolism uh, like an animal can have. Coming up with more and more elaborate explanations, like a gravity anomaly, like come on, like a gravity anomaly would be something that could be detectable, you know, like people would know about it. Anyway, what is the tiniest cryptid?
Cryobacter catlensis.
She answers immediately. Cryobacter catlensis. The bacter suffix suggests we're talking about bacteria here. Cryobacter catlensis.
Yes, a unicellular bacterium that was discovered in one of the northernmost points of Kotla on the Boreal Plateau by renowned geologist Caitlin Mijanou some 70 years ago.
What's so special about it?
The bacterial colony Mijanou found had remained alive while frozen in ice for longer than anyone could reliably estimate, certainly from before recorded history.
That sounds cool. That certainly sounds more plausible than the giant of Coconut.
Mijanou disappeared shortly after injecting herself with the bacteria she had brought back to study, no doubt in hopes of prolonging her own life.
Injected? She just injected herself with a random bacteria she found because she thought it would prolong her life? That's just like, what? There are so many questions. Like, what? Why would you do that? Okay. Wait, she injected herself with it? You mean there's an immortal geologist wandering the world? I mean, okay, just because something survived being preserved in ice doesn't mean that injecting yourself with it gives you the power to survive things. Like, there's no logic in that. Like, it's. I mean, if it is indeed true that yes, that the colony survived being frozen in ice, like okay, you know, cryogenic suspension is a thing. You know, they're like if like if someone has not to get grisly or morbid or anything, like a terrible accident where like a limb is severed, it's prudent to pack that limb in ice to help preserve it, so that the doctors, hospital surgeons can reattach it. And medical science is pretty advanced in that they can like reattach limbs that have been severed, which is pretty impressive in itself. But yeah, things decompose quickly when they're separated from the bodies. You know, like body parts, they decompose pretty quickly. But putting them in ice slows down the decomposition and lets them gives them more time to operate. But my point is that yeah, cryogenic suspension is a thing. Putting things on ice to preserve them is a thing. Um, you know, like it's a sort of a staple of science fiction of that whole notion of freezing people so they can, you know, who have some kind of terminal illness, in the hopes to keep them alive longer, in the hopes of that one day that illness will be treatable, and then they can revive them and treat it. Yeah, so there's yeah, that's part of the problem with that procedure is our current technology isn't able to revive people from being cryogenically frozen. Um, but there are some people who have had them like real life, like in this day and age, have had their bodies cryogenically frozen in the hopes that they will be able to be revived and treated at some later date. Some people pay lots of money to have that done with their bodies. Um, you know, so what I'm saying is like there's a grain of truth in this idea of a bacteria that can survive being frozen and have its life prolonged. But turning that into and therefore I should inject this bacteria into myself is just batshit bonkers. Like, what are you thinking? What? You know what I mean? Like, there's total logical disconnect here. Like, why would you reach the conclusion and therefore I should inject this into myself? Anyway, okay. Check this out. This all definitely happened. Yeah. I don't understand. Why would you prolong your life? Being alive is terrible. Oh, that's sad. That's a sad take on it. Anyway, I intend to live forever too, as a symbol. She's preparing for the end times. She wanted to witness and record the twilight proceedings, or immortal bacteria, immortal geologists. That's too wild. Um, let's go. Wait, she injected herself with it.
Yes, the bacteria had survived in the ice since times immemorial. It is not hard to see where she could have gotten the idea.
Okay, I mean it's a leap, but okay.
It's actually a little hard to see, but do go on.
He looks at her skeptically. Kim, Kim, how can you be skeptical of this claim? Steph said, this all definitely happened. Um, you mean there's an immortal geologist wandering the world?
Yes, and she's quite mad too. After she treated herself with the bacteria, she stopped aging, but also became increasingly eccentric and irascible, so that even her oldest friends were forced to pull away.
Okay, you said that she disappeared, though. Uh, disappeared shortly after injecting herself. So how do you know she stopped aging and went mad? Like, what? Okay.
We can assume that she has been living somewhere in the wilderness for decades now, all alone except for the Cryobacter catlensis coursing through her bloodstream.
Uh, yeah, we can definitely assume that. Why not? Okay. Are there any invisible cryptids?
What an interesting question. And the answer is yes, there are.
Of course, all fairy tales have someone or something invisible in them.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's for like conspiracy theories like this. I mean, these do kind of fall into the realm of conspiracy theory because they're like there have to be contrived explanations for why no one's ever seen them before, you know? So yeah, this notion that they're invisible, it just fits that whole bill. Anyway, you're right, Kim. It's childish, but I need to know. Shush, Kim. She's got to tell me about the invisible cryptid. What is it? Shush, Kim. Uh, Kim, don't ruin this for me, man. Yeah. Sorry. Like the delivery of this line. Shush, Kim. She's going to tell you about the invisible cryptid. Like there's just this sort of implied childlike wonder in this line. But I don't like the idea of being rude to Kim. So I might just go with the you're right, Kim is childish, but I need to know.
Okay, I won't spoil your fun. What is the invisible cryptid?
Lines like these really show the Natsuki Harry analogy. Hmm. It's yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm thinking back to your the artwork that was it Slimo who did it? The artwork that was like the DDLC Disco Elysium crossover where Natsuki's smoking with Kim. Uh, Shush, Jerry, she's gonna tell you about the invisible cryptid. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, moving right along.
It's the Col de Mama d'Aqua. Its name means thin whisper of sound, and that's precisely what it is. Self-replicating sound waves, invisible and intangible. The Col de Mama is very afraid of us, which makes it incredibly difficult to track.
The woman who corrects her glasses. Kodamama Dagwa, self-replicating sound waves, invisible and... Oh, it's not just invisible, it's intangible too? So is it like phased out of existence so it can just pass through normal matter or something? Okay. What does it sound like? Or could it be here? Look around. Right now? Or what evidence is there of this animal being a sound? Or why is the Mama Dakaka Mama Daka so afraid of us? Interesting. What about dot 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 concluded? Oh, that's not concluded. Hold on. Could it could it be here? Look around. Right now?
It could be. As I said, it could be everywhere. And we wouldn't know any better. It could be ringing all the days of our lives and nights.
She says calmly. It cannot be observed in any way whatsoever. I know, right? It's kind of like um, the caloric theory of matter. I learned about in a science class like forever ago in high school. Um, oops, oh, I have a drinking problem. Just spilled water on myself. I mean, an early theory of what heat is, it was that heat is a fluid that just like flows through all matter, and it has like wait, okay, it can't be seen or there's a long list of things like you can't see it or measure. I guess you can measure it, but um, um, like you can't see it. It has no mass. It has no like. There's a list of qualifying criteria, and then at the end it says, but it can be felt. That was the description of in my science textbook back in the day. Uh, like reading about that it makes it sound so silly. Like you know, like the whole thing, you can't see it or hear it or detect it or measure it, but trust me, it's there. That and phlogiston, yeah, yeah, yeah. And the problem with the caloric theory was it doesn't explain friction. Like you rub your hands together and both of them warm up. Well, where's the caloric fluid coming from? You know. um, yeah, there was an experiment it was a I think it was like my recollection. I'm trying to remember what it said in the textbook. Um, some scientists observed that when they were, I think it was they were it was during cannon manufacturing. This was like a couple centuries ago. Um, Manufacturing of the cannons, the metal heated up, and he wondered why that was the case. And, like they were being heated up by the friction with the machinery fashioning the cannons, and supporters of the caloric theory said, "Oh, the caloric fluid is flowing from the surrounding air." They couldn't explain why it was flowing into the cannon, and so he tried submerging the cannon and having them work on it, and it heated up so much that it boiled the water on it. And so it's like, you can't say it's coming from the surrounding air because now the water's heating up. Uh, Good old disconfirmed scientific theories, yeah, yeah. Um, Yeah, and which leads us. Okay, I know I'm going on a massive tangent. I'll wrap this up quickly. Just leads us to our modern understanding that heat is movement. Movement is heat. It's that your hands warm up when you rub them together because the molecules are bumping up against each other and like accelerating each other. Um, like molecules are in constant motion, and the faster they're moving, the more heat there is. Like solid objects. If you look at the microscopic level, the like the like the like the atomic level, molecular level, the molecules are all vibrating together. In liquids, they've vibrated to the point that they've broken up into clumps of molecules that are like moving and sliding amongst each other. And in gases, they've accelerated so much that the individual molecules or atoms are just flying around, bouncing around, and bouncing off each other. um, which is why, for example, like in outer space where there's a vacuum and there's no air. As soon as all the air molecules, like if you open a window in a spaceship, all the air molecules are bouncing around so fast that they'll just go right out where there's nothing. Like they're like they're bouncing around, bouncing off of each other. But as soon as there's a space where there's no air, they all rush out there. Just from the random bouncing around off of each other, they just shoot out the window, and they'll always so that they'll always equalize pressure because they're I don't know. I'm just rambling about random science. I'm a big nerd. I think this stuff is fascinating. Like they will always tend to equalize in pressure and temperature because like the hotter ones will be bouncing around faster, and then it comes in contact with colder ones which are still bouncing around fast but not as fast. They'll mix and bounce around each other until they're completely the same temperature and speed and stuff. And this is also why like like if you have a bowl of hot soup and you blow one, it cools it down because the hottest water molecules on the surface are the ones which evaporate and shoot off first, and like the hottest ones shoot off, and then the coldest ones are the ones that stay behind, so it cools down. There's heat transfer in changing states between liquid and gas, and you know what? I've rambled on this about this too much. I'm just gonna move on. I just think it's cool. Anyway, moving on.
Maybe it's predatory.
What if it's predatory?
It's not. Don't worry. If it were predatory, we would have found it by the damage it inflicts.
Okay. How do you reach that conclusion? I mean, if we're talking about something small, like we without knowing what it's. Never mind. Moving on.
I wouldn't be so sure. What if the damage is also invisible?
There you go. There's that rabbit hole. If we're assuming that this thing is alive yet is invisible and intangible and can't be detected anyway, maybe the things that it eats are also invisible and intangible and can't be detected anyway. Okay, so anyway, what does it sound like?
Like nothing. It's such a high-pitched sound that us humans can't hear it, nor can other animals. It could be ringing right outside your window and you wouldn't even know it. Could be anywhere. Everywhere, even.
Okay, great. So we can't see, touch, or hear it. Can we smell or taste it?
Fine, I'll bite. How can an animal be a sound?
Lieutenant looks at her skeptically.
Many scientists have asked the same question. Some have claimed that it isn't itself a sound, but a tiny corpuscle that emits sound waves. But there's no evidence to support this theory.
Uh-huh. A corpuscle, you say, that emits sound waves. Okay. But that still suggests that it's a physical thing. You said it's intangible. Okay, whatever. What evidence is there of this animal being a sound?
Plenty. It's the evidence that led to its discovery. In the 1920s, a group of areopagi ornithologists, that is, scientists who study birds, We're trying out a new recording technology for capturing sounds outside the range of human hearing.
Okay.
When playing back recordings they had made in the foothills of the Ea mountain range, they noticed certain anomalies, patterns that seemed random at first, but on closer examination were consistent with the waveforms of songbirds.
But like, okay, but what? How does that translate into a theory of an invisible, intangible creature instead of okay? Well, maybe you were hearing birdsong. Mm-hmm. Songbirds, or just nod eagerly. I'm gonna say mm-hmm. Songbirds.
The scientists soon discovered they could track and even predict what appeared to be feeding, mating, and migration patterns based on sound waves in a strictly delimited range of ultrasonic frequencies, even higher than those of the highest pitched bat calls.
Okay. Feeding and mating migration patterns based on sounds. Okay.
They realized that they had discovered a new species and called it the Coldamamadaqua, after the Paracanassian name for the voice of God, which is said to be very silent.
We can say wow, or I can say go on. Let's go with the more neutral go on.
They grew quite obsessed with these little birds. Even though they couldn't see them, they could distinguish among individual birds and even began to name some of them.
She smiles. Name them?
Sequester, Time, Joscan. Those are but some of the Mamadaqua they followed individually.
She nods. Okay. Why is the Mama Daka so afraid of us?
That is a sad story. A group of university students assisting with the field work in their enthusiasm for the project, and no doubt because they were preoccupied with impressing their professors, nearly drove it to extinction.
She frowns. Okay. Nearly drove it to extinction. How would you even know? Extinction?
They tried to communicate with it and had no other means but sound. So they started sending out sound waves at frequencies they thought might match the Mamadaqwas. And what happens when a sound wave meets another sound wave of the same frequency, dear?
She nods gravely. Cancel each other out? They amplify each other? I don't know. I'm leaning towards they cancel each other out.
Exactly. And these tests were performed so recklessly that when they happened upon the right frequency, well, they wiped out most of the population.
Uh-huh.
Great regret washes over her. A wending cloth.
After that, the corpuscle appears to have migrated elsewhere. There have been recordings of anomalies similar to those spotted in Ea, but they've been few and far between. It's impossible to confirm the presence of any stable Koltamamadaqua population anywhere.
Of course. A common thread in these. Disappearance and unfalsifiability. I like the story, though, man.
He concedes, yeah. But yeah, like as Kiv says, common thread in these sorts of conspiracy theories, like oh, we found a new species, but they all got wiped out. I'm sorry.
I'm glad you did, dear.
She seems genuinely glad. Yeah, interesting. What about dot dot dot?
What about what?
Well, we've already asked about all of them, so I mean, the tiniest cryptid ones had some other dialogue options there, but I'm just going to move on. This has been educational. Sadly, we need to discuss something else.
Of course, dear.
I ran to your husband on the coast.
Goodness, how is he? Did he say why he hasn't returned yet?
The old woman clasped her hands together over her blanket.
He's fine, ma'am. As we had suspected, he couldn't get back earlier because the water lock on the canal was broken. Now he's just finishing up some work.
Oh, yes. That's my Morel. He's bound to catch a cold staying out there for so long.
Hmm.
But I am so relieved to hear that he's okay. Thank you for putting an old woman's heart at ease, if even a little.
Woo, experience. See? You got 5% of the way to getting another level up. Like, there was benefit to this. So there you go.
You haven't, however. There are dangers out there. Our aging bodies fail. Her heart won't rest until Morel is safely back with her.
No, it's fine. You just have a bit of the cryobacter catalensis, and you'll be fine. It'll make you immortal. Okay, that's all for now. And while I'm here, why don't I give Gout the bird that I found? Oh, maybe see if you'll appreciate that.
Can I help you?
But my bill tonight, I need a drink. Can you pour me one? Gout, I found a new bird for the whirling. Give him the ruffed grouse. Or Gout, I need to sing karaoke now. I'm gonna get, might come back for the karaoke later. Let's give him the bird now.
What is this thing?
Man takes the stuffed bird. It's no biggie. I just thought it would look nice on the wall, and that kind of caught.
What, the interior decorating kind? I'm sorry. This is actually a nice bird. A competent piece of taxidermy.
And he inspects the bird somewhat suspiciously, then mellows. We had it fade to black. Is that what's happening?
I can fix it to the plaque and have a new bird in the establishment, I guess. So, I don't know. Thank you. I'm going to go with thank you.
Cool. He hesitates. Yeah, I'm gonna go with thank you. That's neat. Sorry, did something happen during that fade out? Did he put the bird up somewhere? I guess it just replaced the bird on the desk. They didn't. They didn't feel like animating that.
People just don't know how to accept gifts, especially taxidermy. He likes it. He likes the bird. It solves his broken bird problem.
Cool. Yeah, he's been standing over that broken bird for the last 2 days.
I feel good about our work here today. It's all about the little things, like bringing people random stuffed animals.
Lieutenant nods. Bringing people random stuffed animals. It feels like there's a note of sarcasm in that line, but eh. Anyway, yeah, but my built today. I might just go sleep in that like the shed across the river, just because I have that option. So probably won't ask him about the build tonight. Anyway, I'm just gonna go and let's get back to work on the other side of the water lock again. Oh, I have a thought.
Was that? Could it be the Mama Dakwa? No, it's probably just your imagination ringing in your ear.
Of course, Inland Empire just keeps jumping all over this, this the fantastical theories and stuff. Is it there? Is there a ringing? Listen more closely, or probably not. I mean, Lena said that they're beyond the range of human hearing. We're not supposed to be able to hear them, and they were also nearly driven to extinction, supposedly. So, okay. Anyway, listen more closely.
There seems to be an extremely high-pitched ring. Ultrasonic. Lena said it was very high-pitched, right? It's like something tickles your ear.
This is sounding a little psychosomatic here. When you think about something so much that you actually start, manifesting symptoms. But it's still in your head. You're just imagining it. But shoot, there's something else I was gonna say. Yeah, she was saying that, oh, they could be here in the room with us right now. They could be everywhere. If she's really going with this notion that they're everywhere, like all over the world, how did this group of scientists completely, like, almost drive them to extinction with one experiment. You know, it doesn't seem to fit. Anyway, moving on.
Honestly, your ear isn't hearing a whole lot. The distant hum of the industrial harbor, the traffic. But, admittedly, there is a high-pitched noise somewhere there too. But then, isn't there always?
Wait, Kim, do you hear high-pitched noise, or listen closely? Maybe head toward the sound. Listen closely first.
There it is again. You're about to rediscover a long-lost species. Yeah, but how are you going to catch it?
Yeah, it's intangible. How are you going to catch it? Keep listening.
It must be very close. Maybe, just maybe, it will come toward you.
Uh-huh.
Keep still. It might perch on your shoulder.
How? It's intangible. Okay. Hold very still and hope the bird comes to perch on your shoulder, or move your head toward the sound. Should we involve Kim in this? He's gonna think we're crazier than he already thinks we are. Then again, if we hold very still, he's probably also gonna think we're crazy. If we move our head towards the sound, he's probably just gonna think it's the Jamrock Shuffle. I don't know. Am I overthinking this? Let's be open about our craziness. Wait, Kim, do you hear a high-pitched noise?
No, I don't hear the Koldomama d'Aqua, and neither do you.
He immediately knew what we were talking about.
Of course he doesn't. He's deaf.
Inland Empire, come on, be nice. Let's hold very still and hope the bird comes to perch on your shoulder.
Oh no. The sound. It's moving away. Somewhere over there. Go after it. No. Too late. It's gone. There is no ringing anymore. Just the sound of the streets.
No, come back, please. Listen more. Or, go then, leave, like everything else. What's this parenthetical don't here? Don't as a continuation of listen more, as in don't listen more? Yeah, let's listen more.
Keep your ears peeled, then. If the species really has migrated to Martinez, you're sure to hear it again.
There you go. I got a thought added to my thought cabinet. Koldomama d'Aqua. You heard it. The mysterious Koldomama d'Aqua. You're certain that you did. Well, maybe not quite certain, but let's say that you're hopeful, because it would make you very special to be the only human being who can hear this invisible, incorporeal bird, this animate whisper, this particle of sound. You're going to have to keep listening. Sharpen your ear. 7 hours to research? Okay, yeah, I think I'm going to pass on that one. I'm still working on Homosexual Underground. 5 hours left. So yeah, so that'll take me until 4 in the afternoon here. Okay, anyway. Yes. Yeah, I got smokes, didn't I? Are they in the tools? There they are. So they boost intellect. So I have to keep that in mind. If I ever need to exercise one of these intellect things, I have to smoke first and see if I can get an extra thing, extra stat boost out of that. Anyway, all right, enough of that. No, it's this way. Let's just run all the way. Time is of the essence, Kim. We gotta keep moving. Hey, there's a thing to look at there. Yeah, I think I didn't look at this before because I was left-hand wall mazing it. Breaker box to power the radio pylon above you. Maybe there's something inside? Wait, really? Oh. Oh, free money. There's an extra real. Did I go this way? Okay, that's yeah, there's a barrier. There's nothing that way, never mind. Yeah, I'll come back to those tire treads and stuff there later. Let's just go back to where I left off. I looked in this house, right? Yeah, this is where I did look in here, right? Sorry, I need to refresh my memory. Hey, welcome to the stream, Larcasera. How's it going? Okay. Yeah, there's nothing here. There's a boat. Apparently I didn't look at this before. Undecided if the boat has recently been tarred. Interpreter84 is here. Welcome to the stream. Hi, Terminus. How long have you been streaming? Let's see. 46 minutes so far today. I just, in the interest of trying to see if I can get more experience, I went back to the mainland and talked to the cryptozoologist's wife to see if I could get more information about cryptids, so I have more to talk to him about. Kim got annoyed with me for wasting time during our murder investigation to go talk about cryptids. But I got experience for it in the last stream, so I wanted to see if I can get more experience. Here we go.
Hello, hello. What can I do for you, officer?
Consider playing Slay the Princess. I'm not familiar with that one. I'd have to look it up. I mean, I saw that you asked me about it over in my server, and I was like, yeah, no, I've got. There are a bunch of games that I'm hoping to get to. Like, I have that. There's a Darkest Dungeon game which I interrupted and didn't get back to. There's a Grounded game which I interrupted and didn't get back to. I would like to get back to The Long Dark at some point. There's a new version coming out soon. At some point, I'd like to get back to Subnautica again. I think someone said that there's work is being done on the Death Run mod, and they're working to update it to work with the Living Large update. If they can get it working with that, that could be really neat to see. So wouldn't mind checking that out. So to name a few games that, and there are a number of other games like on my list that I've been meaning to play and get to, which I just haven't gotten around to. You know how long a typical Death Run episode is? I mean, not offhand. I mean, you can look at the episodes on my channel. That'll tell you. Anyway, all right, let's talk about cryptids some more. Let's see if he has more to say.
Okay. I already did my best to inform you. I don't really know what else I could discuss with the layman.
He eyes you skeptically.
Layman, you always have to prove yourself with this man, which means you have to provide the cryptids. Maybe he'll answer.
Just 2 or 3 of them you can 100% slay the princess in 2 of those episodes. Oh, okay, cool. And the Upgrave is here. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? We're talking about cryptids right now. I know the biggest cryptid, the giant of Coconur.
That's impressive, I guess. But have you seen it with your own eyes?
It's impressive, yes. He does not seem that impressed. I can lie and say yes, truth, no, or have you seen it? Again, like, how much do we want to suck up to Morel, the cryptozoologist? Do we want to tell him, yes, I saw the coconut that nobody's ever seen? I'm going to tell him no.
Of course you haven't.
He seems satisfied. Have you seen it?
I haven't had a chance to travel to Coco North. No, and I likely never will. The Samaskill Desert region has been embroiled in a small civil war for the last 8 years.
Oof.
I fear this mindless barbarism may have wiped out the elusive creature entirely. Sightings of towering luminosities have grown rare recently, while they once used to be constants.
I mean, again, Occam's razor, like, it's more likely that the strange luminance they're seeing is just a mirage caused by the desert, rather than it being an actual living thing. But, whatever.
It remains unclear what this has got to do with you seeing it, as he was inquiring before. He was just being defensive.
Huh, interesting. Okay, I didn't get experience for that one. I got experience for asking about the other one, the gnome of Jeroma. Oh well. I know about Cryobacter catlensis.
Oh, everyone knows about that one, thanks to Professor Mijanu being the talk of the town for a time.
He coughs in his fist. Slayer Rabbit's here. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? Hey. This is a more popular time than I would have expected. This is like coming up to 2 a.m. for me. This is much later than I intended to stream today. But yeah, everyone's showing up at once. That's cool.
Although, probably because her life ended as a result of her work in Gutler, no one remembers her contributions to the search for the Nong-Ok.
The Nong-Ok? Going well? Cool. The Nong-Ok, or better not go into the Nong-Ok. It's okay. Let's ask him the Nong-Ok, I guess.
A flightless cursor owl found in the Seminine Isles. Its long legs permit the Nong-Ok to run faster than any other avian. Perhaps any other animal. Who knows?
So is the Nong-Ok, is that another cryptid? I mean, the ostrich is the fastest land avian. You're saying this is even faster? Okay.
When it's not hunting its prey in this manner, the Ock hangs from tree branches, like a bat, waiting to dive on hapless prey below on the jungle floor.
So it's an ambush predator that hangs down from trees, and it's also the fastest living thing? Okay. Been busy? Cool. It's a good way to keep.
Mijanu liked extreme animals, you see. One of the few figures of the academic establishment I respect. Really a shame she disappeared.
When did she disappear?
Oh, decades ago.
Hmm.
In the 30s. I didn't know her personally, of course. The chasm of academic pretension still stood before us, even though she had unusual courage for someone from the other side.
For someone from the other side? Why does it need to ambush if it can simply outrun its prey? Exactly, that's what I'm saying. It's like you're trying to combine features of two different animals. Like it doesn't really make a lot of sense. But of course, that's the whole nature of the cryptids, is they're made up. That's why I'm presuming when he says the other side, he's referring to like more reasonable, more skeptical scientists who say like, okay, this made up animal obviously doesn't exist. Why are you wasting your time with this? Unless it's trying to save energy. I mean, sure. Okay. So I went through all the cryptid thingies. I didn't. Okay. So I enough tales. Let's change the subject.
By all means.
He coughs and clenches his mouth. Lena seems pretty eager for you to return.
And I'm eager to return to her, I assure you. But I can't leave before we finish with these traps. My wife understands that just as well as anyone.
You look south where Lena would be.
Come on, Morel. We've been soaking out here for days. It's time to go back.
And leave the traps? Absolutely not.
He yells in
I
response.
won't let Lena down.
Come on, she wants us back. I'm soaked up to my nuts over here. We'll both catch reed crabs if we don't dry out soon.
What? Let Lena down? Sounds like the cryptozoologist's wife shares a special connection to the Phasmid somehow.
Empathy, medium success. Well, I mean, he did mention that Lena was the one that designed the traps, so she's not just like quietly observing from the sidelines. She has some direct interest in this. I didn't know the Phasma was so important to Lena, or come on, you're doing this for yourself, not her. I don't know, I didn't know the Phasma was so important to Lena.
Of course it's important to her. She's seen it.
Yeah?
A verified sighting. On record. One of only 4 this century. And it's hers.
Is that so? Vested interest? Yeah. Really? She cited the Phasma? She didn't tell me that.
Yes. That's how we first came to know one another, in fact.
Huh.
But that's her story to tell. Not mine.
He coughs, then continues. Maybe this will lead to more dialogue with Lena then.
Suffice to say, it's long been our dream to find proof of the Insulindian Phasmid together. I can't abandon course now.
Another cough into his fist this time. There's lots of interjections of him coughing here. Is this supposed to imply that he's in poor health or something? Kim's about to get even more pissed with you, exactly. Yeah, but there's something I was going to say. Shoot, what was I going to say? She cited the fact. Oh yeah, I was going to comment about the cryobacteria thing again. Like, you said that the doctor who discovered it disappeared like 20 years ago, but Lena said that she disappeared shortly after discovering it, and it was 70 years ago. So, is 50 years a difference count as shortly? Yeah. Anyway, maybe you could go back to the whirling warm-up, come back to check the traps later, or you should just give up on this bug hunt. Or okay, I understand. I don't give up on things either. Figures that you're about to head to Lena and ask her, then come back here to talk to him again. Exactly. No, I'm not going to do that this time. I'm going to resume my exploration of this region. Maybe you could go back to the whirling warm-up and come back to check out the traps later. Yeah. I mean, he has been out here for 2 days, right? Oh, look, it's raining now. SB wants to warm up. That's what I do. Yeah, I'm leaning towards that option too. I mean, I sort of also want to talk to the other guy as well, but on the other hand, maybe I sort of don't, because it's described him as crypto-fascist. So anyway, come back to check the traps later.
No. The traps need to be monitored on a regular schedule. What would we do if the Phasmid were to starve while we were sipping tea at the hostel?
What? You think they're not going to survive if you just go there for an hour or so? Like, I mean, theoretically, they can survive on their own for an hour, regularly, but whatever.
He's dead set on this.
Yeah. What if we check the traps for you? Okay, that'll really piss Kim off. I mean, I have the option. It won't starve in just 4 hours. Yeah, exactly. Should I offer to check the traps for him? Kim is going to be so annoyed with me. I don't know. I'm kind of curious to pick it for the content's sake, but as we all know, not disappointing Kim is like the main goal of the story, obviously. I don't know. The dialogue's tree seems to be pushing me in this direction. I could just keep, avoid saying it just to keep the options open and come back to it later. I'm gonna say I'll get going. Let's take a look around at stuff here. Tiny cages, carefully constructed. Think waking up. These soggy logs smell of ignition fluid, so they won't light up. And what have we here? Is that a can? Oh, it's money. Woo, free money. Half a real. These heavy military blockades are riddled with bullet holes and crumbling. Okay. Huh. There's a reference to a spot in the reeds where it should look like a good spot for hiding things earlier, but I suppose that's something we're going to have to return to later. And I have a thought. It's almost impossible to get a fire going this near to the ocean. Okay. Shrug however you want to do it, yeah. Let's see what Gary the crypto-fascist has to say. Here's a Shamrock Shuffle again, yeah.
Hello, I'm Gary. How do you do, officer?
I'm concerned about the fact that it refers to him as a crypto-fascist. Well, 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 Gary, indeed.
Yellow man. I mean, officer.
Really? You're opening with that? Okay.
The lieutenant raises his eyebrows slightly and takes out his notebook. Yellow man. That sounds awfully familiar. Something to keep in mind for later.
It's because he's racist. Bold move, yeah.
I'm just waiting for my friend Morel to finish up with his insect traps so we can return to civilization.
He quickly changed the subject. Not a lover of the great outdoors? Or yeah, I'm more of a city boy too. Go with not a lover of the great outdoors.
I like nature, just not this bloody coast. It's mostly drunks and degenerates that come here.
Yeah, there's that word, degenerates. I made the comment before about how the use of the word degenerate often has ties to Nazism. The Nazis were really big on, getting rid of degenerates, which is basically means anyone who isn't, white heterosexual, cisgender. But yeah, like degenerates is a term they use that just basically condemn anyone they didn't like, really. But yeah, it's a dog whistle in itself. I mean, I'm not saying that all uses of the word degenerate are tied to Nazis and Nazism, but in this case, he's defined as a crypto-fascist, and he also addressed Kim as Yellow Man. So yeah, he's probably using the Nazi meaning here.
Degenerates, this man respects authority too much to see the truth inscribed upon thine own visage. Pretend thou art the paragon of virtue.
He says something along those lines again. Blast him away with your cyborg machine gun arm? What? What do you mean you don't have that? Okay. I mean, not that kind of game as far as I'm aware. Although I did kind of theorize during the last stream that maybe this is some far-flung future and we're just seeing the poorer part of the world. Like they're like, I don't think there's ever any confirmation that the calendar that said 51 was 1951. Like maybe we're like 2351 or something. When drama gets all dramatic, yeah. Yeah, because I have the drama bow tie and the drama shirt on, so I have a high drama score. So getting the high drama rules. Anyway, I am neither of those things. I can assure you, I am a by the books, clean as a whistle, officer of the law. I'm not even tempted to touch intoxicants. Yeah, we've already commented on how he's like obviously an alcoholic, like visibly affected by the alcohol. Drunks and degenerates, that's my crew. So I was a drunk, yeah. Sadly, I think I might be a drunk or a degenerate, maybe even both. Or nobody's perfect. I'm sure you've been tempted to drink. Well, I mean, even if he was, it's not strictly helpful to try to buy into the Nazi logic. um, yeah, I mean, by the books, clean is the opposite of the law. I mean, that's obviously not true. Just as soon as that's my crew, it's tempting to say this one. Drunks and degenerates, that's my crew. Or so I think I might be a drunk or degenerate, maybe even both. Um, I don't know. Um, mm, uh, hmm. Can the spectre degrades even more? Yeah. I'm gonna go. I think I'm leaning toward skill. Skill gives good advice. I say, yeah. This man respects authority too much to see the truth inscribed upon by it. Pretend thou art a paragon of virtue. I mean, yeah, I can. Do I care about earning this guy's respect though? He seems like a jerk. Yeah, but yeah, drama is giving this suggestion of going with this one here. We care about intimidating him? Yeah. I mean, there's that too, I suppose. I don't know. I was sort of tempted to go in the direction of honesty is the best policy, and go with the. Sadly, I think I might be. I don't really. Like I said, I made the comment a moment ago that it's generally not constructive to buy into the logic of the Nazi talking points, and really all four of these options do. Whatever you choose, yeah, I know. This is the option that drama wants me to select. I sort of tend to feel like going in the direction of honesty is the best policy or something like that. Because we did start this game waking up drunk or hungover anyway. See the truth inscribed upon the. I mean, hell, I don't know. I'm actually part of the reason I'm tempted to pick this one is just on principle because we care about intimidating and we are the law. Yeah, I mean, just because of that bit of backseating there, I'm tempted to just pick this option just to spite you, Dav. I mean that in the nicest way possible. I'm kidding. I mean, I kind of want to. I wanted to try to steer in the direction of options I would choose if I was playing this on my own, outside of any other outside influences. So I'm going to go with this one. Pins are my own and do not reflect the position of the Revisional Citizens Militia. Yeah. If I'm inclined to tell you what to do, I'm not in a good headspace to do so tonight anyway. Oh, okay. Just go with whatever your gut initially tells you. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that might be a drunker degenerate, maybe even both.
Dark times will do that to good men.
He nods gravely, then shifts his gaze to the pile of soggy logs at his feet. Do you know anything about the man hanged behind the whirling rags? Is this your mug? Hold up the yellow man mug. Are you a cryptozoologist too, or you were surprised to see my colleague Lieutenant Kitsuragi? Mm. Okay, let's go with the more conversational. Are you a cryptozoologist too?
No, no. I help Morel with research sometimes, and I've learned some things along the way. But I don't usually go in for picnics like this on my own.
Okay. Let's ask him about the murder. Let's get some actual murder investigation going on here. Do you know anything about the man behind the whirling in rags?
Oh, so that's what the RCM in Martinez is about. Great. Great to hear someone's finally taking care of that.
He nods in sincere approval. Murder investigation? Yeah. In the midst of all our, cryptid investigation, we're investigating a murder too, at times.
So you do know something about it.
No, no. Nothing. He was some kind of mercenary. But everyone here knows that. I'm just glad to hear you're looking into it. That's all.
Shakes his head emphatically, then corrects his tie.
He's not feeling very comfy in his clothes, is he? Strange. He didn't kill him or anything, but there's something going on here.
Something going on here. Is this your mug? Like, is this your mug? I have the option to show him, like, could this be the guy that lived in there with the row of racist mugs? Well, he took some of the armor. Could be, maybe. Anyway, you were surprised to see my colleague, Lieutenant Kitsuragi?
Not many Sealites here, or anywhere, other than Sale. I meant no offense, truly.
Uh-huh. Do you have a problem with Sealites? Or Lieutenant is a native of Revachol, yeah. Yes, what are they doing in that seal? There's scheming? Oh, great, I have the option to be racist too. Can be more confrontational, say you have a problem with Sealites, or more, affirming, like, he lives here. Yeah, do you have a problem with Sealites?
No, no problem at all.
He flashes an impenetrable smile at the lieutenant. Sure, let's ask him about the mug. Is this your mug? Hold up the yellow man mug.
My mug? Why would you think that?
His eyes widen at the sight of the mug. He's seen it before, all right?
Well. You said yellow man. That's not something many people go around saying. It seemed as if you were calling to it longingly when you cried, "Yellow man!" I can see you recognize it. It's in your eyes. You look like the kind of guy who might have a collection of mugs like this, home in his colonial mug collection. I mean, this is the getting to the heart of the point here, because we did. If this is indeed the guy who owned that colonial mug collection, we did kind of poke around his home. That's right, Gary. I was in your walls. Haha, yeah. Let's go with I can see you recognize it. It's in your eyes. I mean, you just did say his eyes wide at the sight of the mug.
I may have had a similar looking mug in the past. That's all.
Just a minute, man. You put the mug in the trash container behind the whirling. It still seems suspicious. Did I mention the mug was found at the scene of the lynching? Or, all right, I believe you. You look like the kind of man who knows it's a crime to lie to an officer. Uh-huh. I'm gonna be direct. Just a minute. You put the mug in the trash container behind the whirling.
Maybe. Okay. Yes, I did. I know I shouldn't have, and I am very sorry, officer. You're not going to find me, are you?
I don't think we're concerned about finding. I actually I have the option of finding him. I am rip out a fine slip for 20 real, for or for 100 real, for 250 real. um, I can I actually get 250 real out of this guy? That'd be amazing. I mean, like we haven't had that amount of money for this whole game. The most amount I had was 180 when I had the 50 that I'd accumulated, including the 25 real bribe from Everard and the 130 maybe bribe from Joyce. Don't tell me a word. I don't think you get the money. I mean, I wouldn't expect to. Never mind. I'm just gonna say I just want information. As amusing as it might be to find him, I'm just gonna say I just want information. Maybe it's enough to imply that we were going to. Yeah, the issue isn't even that, oh, you shouldn't have thrown the mug out. The fact, it's just like the victim's clothes are in the garbage too, and the garbage container was locked, so that's more of our concern. Anyway, just want information.
Whew. Thank you. You won't regret this. I won't use another man's property to dump my garbage ever again.
He's visibly relieved.
I don't know what got into me, really. Work has been stressful lately. Damn Koiko's price dumping us out of competition.
Uh-huh. Have we heard this term before? Quakos? Is this another made-up slur?
What did you do, Gary?
Hmm?
Nothing. Nothing. Just answering some questions. Helping out the law.
Measurehead's head. Okay, yeah. No, that does sound familiar now that you mention it. Yeah. How'd you get into the trash container? Yeah, that's the important question. Gary, did you put the clothes of the murder victim, the man who was hanging behind the whirling in rags, into that trash container? Let's do more. How'd you get into the trash container?
I know a guy who works with the trash collection services.
Really?
CS Municipal. He gave me a master key for the trash containers of Martinez.
Well, 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 the plot thickens. Because Gaude was saying that like very few people had access to that. Basically, he said basically himself and the trash collectors. So now we found someone else who has access to it. How very curious. So he knows a guy who worked with trash collection. Why would you need to get into everyone's trash?
So I can use the Whirling's trash compactor to store my own stuff. Garbage disposal is expensive as hell. The damn Bohemians run it like a mob.
He says, bowing shamefully like a fallen knight.
I'm sorry, okay? I thought I could cut costs. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have disgraced myself.
Being weirdly hard on himself for the circumstances.
Disgraced? No need for the histrionic, sir.
Yeah.
It was, after all, just a trash container.
Exactly, yeah. Tent raises his eyebrows and looks up.
He studies his reaction. Gary doesn't answer.
Oh wow, I can be direct here. It's the last option here. Gary, did you put the clothes of the murder victim, the man who was hanged behind the whirling in rags, into that trash container?
Officer, please. Let me explain. It's not like that.
He raised both hands. Do.
I was only cleaning up. I live right across the yard from where he was hanged, and I saw him stripped naked. All the clothes lying around in the yard, smelling. People are animals, you know?
Okay, yes, what happened? Or okay, then what happened? Let's go with okay, then what happened?
Then I came out to clean up the rags because no one else would. I put them into the Whirling's trash, along with a broken mug, admittedly.
He changes his mind mid-sentence?
Okay. I was coming to throw the mug away, and, well, I threw the mug there and the clothes too.
Uh-huh.
Right. It was just civic duty.
The lieutenant remarks drolly. Drolly meaning like in a comical manner.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. Civic duty.
Uh-huh. You wouldn't know anything about the victim's missing armor, would you? Yeah. Hmm. Would the clothes have been under the armor, or the armor under the clothes? That's one of the other things I was wondering about. Yeah. So, Gary, about that, yeah.
Armor? No. I mean, yes. Of course. I know he was wearing armor, but I don't know anything about it.
He changed his mind? Hmm.
An infant could see he's not telling the truth, but he's too scared to admit more wrongdoing.
Yeah. I mean, okay. Can we trust Harry to maybe change up his tactics and maybe we can get the right information out of him here?
There's something going on here. You should observe him more closely after this topic is concluded.
Yeah. Okay, well, those are our only options here. Let's move on. Dash for now, conclude.
I hope I can help your investigation in my small way.
He's visibly relieved it's over.
Don't be so relieved yet, Gary. This bad cop may have been in your apartment, admiring your mug collection. Perhaps a little intimidation?
Composure legendary. 42%. Why is he shifting around like that? Analyze Gary's composure. I leveled up my composure not too long ago. Did I? Maybe I can change some clothing to raise my composure a little more. Yeah, because the fact that it says perhaps a little intimidation kind of suggests that maybe I should have mentioned that I've been in his apartment. Who put the clothes in the trash? Analyze Gary's composure to find out if he's hiding something more. Oh. Okay. Okay, you're going to say thank you for cooperation, and then I'm going to double check my clothing to see if I have anything that... Okay, I don't think anything I'm wearing reduces composure. Yeah, the shoes actually boost my composure, funnily enough. Logic, suggestion, reduced half-life, constraint, display decor, logic, reduced perception interfacing, some-of visual calculus, some-of electrochemistry, empathy, logic, inland empire. Okay, so yeah, so nothing affecting composure except what I'm already wearing. Okay, let's try this.
Always a pleasure to see an officer of the law. I mean, officers.
He turns toward Kim. I mean, officers. Yeah. I'm going to try rolling the 42% first.
Is he? He's looking comfortable enough. Maybe it was just beads. Sounded like beads. But what kind of beads might a man like Gary be hiding beneath his clothes?
Just beads? Oh, is it implying that he's wearing the armor right now under his clothes? Gary, are you cross-dressing by any chance? Or are those prayer beads I keep hearing? Or are you currently sporting some anal beads? Harry! What are you... Wow, okay. I mean, it seems to sort of like this line implies that he's wearing the armor right now, but Harry just isn't cluing into it, and he's asking about optionally anal beads instead. Let's go with this safer option of asking about prayer beads, I guess.
I don't pray, officer.
Yeah.
Faith in non-existent helpers is a sign of weakness. Not for proper Revicolian men such as ourselves.
Okay, so So, Gary, you live nearby in an apartment in Martinez, pointing in its direction.
Sure do, officer.
His eyes narrow slightly. He's wondering where this is going.
Have you found your door open lately? Well, no, he's been stuck over here for the last 2 days. So, or you're a big man from Hemdal fan, or Mr. Clare must be very angry with you, right? I think I broke into your apartment. I'm very sorry. Or we'll return to this later. For now, let me ask you something else. um. hmm. I have a feel like all of these feel like they're going in the direction. I mean, I can be the most direct one and say, "Hey, I broke into your apartment." Mm. Mm. Sorry, cop. Yeah, that's true. The sorry cop option. I mean, didn't I? Oh yeah, it was the rigorous self critique. I started to research that one, then interrupted it to go for the homosexual underground instead. Um, I, don't- I mean, I don't. I mean, since I haven't researched the sorry cop thing, I don't know if it benefits me to go with the I'm sorry. But yeah, let's go with that. I think I broke into your apartment. I'm very sorry.
What?
He turns pale. I had to for Mr. Clare. I'm a bad cop, I know, but I felt like I had to do it. What if one of the bars reaches zero? What you mean, like the morale bars? I know if health reaches zero, you die, or at least it gives you the option to die. Um, I mean, from the one time that I attempted to attack Measurehead and failed the roll, and my health ticked down to zero, it had a message pop up that said something like, uh, just go into the light, or no, you need to hold on longer. And I picked the go into the light option. And I died. So I don't know. I think maybe it gives you the option to try to hold on longer. I don't know about the morale meter though. Morale has a lot of ups and downs. Yeah, it die or insanity. Good question. Do I go insane if my morale reaches zero? Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, I had to for Mr. Clare. I'm a bad cop, I know, but I felt like I had to do it.
So you work for Everard Clare? Officer, please tell him we're good. No, tell him I'll make it up to him.
He realizes what's going on and changes his tone.
What have I done? He'll send the muscle after me.
Man looks around whispering. He makes sure no one hears you talk. Sending the muscle after him means presumably sending Measurehead after him. And presumably Measurehead is someone he respects.
As he lowers his tone, he hunches his back.
Really, I don't even know what it was about. I just opened the door, or, yeah, I don't know what it was, but he doesn't like you. Try not to shit yourself, Gary. It's just an open door. Or nod grimly. Our discussion on this topic is over, Gary. What about the Mercs? What about the Mercs? I'm not sure. I'm sure what you mean. I'm gonna go with, yeah, I don't know what it was, but he doesn't like you.
I was probably talking too loud in the whirling the other night. About some theories. Stupid. Shouldn't have run my mouth loud like that.
The Mercs do not work forever. Quite the opposite. Perhaps the other. Oh yeah, no. No, the Mercs definitely don't work for Everard. The Mercs were sent there to intimidate Everard, if anything, or intimidate the dock workers. So, yeah. The Mercs are likely to go in there with guns blazing, and because the Mercs are pissed off that one of their own got killed, so they're looking for revenge, and they're talking about just gunning down all the dock workers if they can't figure out who was the one responsible for the killing. Yeah, Mercs work for Joyce's company subcontractor. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so I mean that's the stakes of this murder investigation. We need to find out who did the killing and bring them to justice, or the mercs uh, may be liable to just go and kill everyone because they think that all the dock workers are responsible for the killing. Anyway, moving on.
I won't do it again. If there's anything I can do to assist you, or the Union, just ask, okay? I'll try to help if I can.
Okay. All right. Gain +5 experience for that.
This scared him proper. He's positively melting from fear. Has to prop himself up with a lot of anger to keep it together.
The weather vane has turned. He cannot be unturned.
Lieutenant remarks with a smirk. One moment to refresh. Well, I'm going to continue. I'm not going to pause for a minute. But
Clearly
yeah.
liked his squirming. He may even have changed his mind about the whole door opening operation.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. +2, because the scared him with the apartment. So now is a 72% chance in the roll. Yeah, this is why I wanted to do the I wanted to do the roll first before trying to intimidate him, because then I can roll twice and theoretically have a higher chance. Although I wasn't expecting the morale hit. I'm gonna shoot up to get more morale. Does this go any higher? No? Okay. You're going to get again XCOM roll, increase morale. Yeah, well, I mean, I have magnesium in my inventory, which increases morale. Anyway, all right, let's try this reroll.
That shirt looks very uncomfortable on him.
Heh.
Look at the buttons, barely keeping that thing together, as if something is ready to rip out from underneath.
His massive musculature, or something worn underneath it. I'm tempted to pick this option as a joke, but I'm just going to say something worn underneath it.
It sounds like he's wearing some kind of armor under his clothes. You can't tell it's there just from looking at him. Probably stolen from the corpse in the yard near where he lives.
I see you're a connoisseur of high-quality combat gear. XCOM, you tend to miss an 86% shot. Yeah. I've been getting an uncomfortably high number of low rolls this game. For some reason, the dice seem to come up 4 a lot. Like, I keep rolling 4s. I've commented on it a few times. It's like, another 4, another 4. I'll probably roll another 4 at some point in this session. You'll see. Anyway, I see you're a connoisseur of high-quality combat gear.
I knew you'd figure it out, officer. I'm sorry I didn't tell you at once. I was...
He sighs heavily. He unbuttons the shirt.
I was ashamed of what I did. And I didn't want you to know.
You see gleaming white ceramic shine underneath. A thin layer of interlocking plates covers his gaunt torso.
We're not detecting falsehood, sire. He's gearing up to admit the truth.
Sire. Like, there's a drama again. Got the drama tie on, so... Anyway.
This shame is surprisingly sincere.
Huh, neat.
Gary, what's going on?
Later, Morale. I've got apologizing to do.
No, you've got explaining to do.
Yep. There you go. Yeah, save apologies for later. Let's talk about how you came to have the dead guy's armor on you here. Yeah, the tense tone is icy. Give me that armor now. Why did you really put those clothes in the trash? Why did you lie to me, Gary? Do you know who killed the hangman? This does place him at the scene of the crime, either out on the day of the murder or at least after the murder. Okay, so okay, what order do we want to do these things in here? Like, why did you lie to me is sort of feels like it's beating around the bush because you already said that, but let's sometimes beating around the bush is helpful. You can get more dialogue in that way, and then maybe more experiences maybe more opportunities for experience. So let's go with why'd you lie to me, Gary?
Because I was weak. I should have told you the moment I saw you. But
He says, staring at nothing in particular. Yeah, and again, the whole, you know, Nazi white supremacist, fascist, like, ideology, like that whole, uh, 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 that line of thought, what am I trying to say here? The way he talks is tied up in that whole belief in how the world operates and stuff, and says it must have been because of weakness that he did it or whatever, or not because of whatever. Anyway, moving on.
The hell, Gary? You in trouble?
I'll explain later.
He doesn't muster up the strength to yell. Yeah, let's acquire the armor. Okay, give me the armor now.
He sighs again, hangs his head, and unbuttons his shirt fully. A cuirass that matches the dead man's boots comes into view. Soon it is in your hands, smelling of his sweat.
Great. T500 cuirass. That's a great word, cuirass. But yeah, it's body armor. Okay, all right. Why did you really put those clothes in the trash?
Everyone was picking those pieces off him, and I was watching them do it. And they scattered his clothes all over the yard. Everything was smelling.
He looks at his feet.
So I went there to take out the trash and started cleaning up. All those rags on the ground, him swinging up there, and I had a lapse of honor, sir. I thought, he's a foreigner. They all say he wasn't from here.
Isn't he supposed to be Aranese? Yeah, well, it's better to not let expensive gear go to waste. Yeah, you have to take the armor from him. Yeah. Yep. Oh, yeah.
Only the cuirass was left, so I stripped it off him. It was early in the morning. No one saw me. I took it with me. It was a mistake. Had I known it'd give you guys trouble, I wouldn't have... Fuck.
His lips start quivering.
We're detecting sincere contrition here, sire. He's not trying to flatter anyone.
Yeah.
It's okay. It was a loose end, and you are tying it up now.
There you go. Lieutenant jots something down in his notebook.
I'm so fucking sorry I called you Yellow Man. Seal-like officers commanded the suzerain's navy. Most of them sided with the king when...
Yeah, he says silently, he shakes his head. Okay. Do you know who killed the hanged man?
I always thought it was the Union, but I sure as hell won't go around saying that anymore. You have my word.
Oh.
I don't know, and I won't be running my mouth on this subject anymore.
Well, shoot. I mean, he's saying this because he thinks I'm on Everett's side. And he said, "What? You're doing work for Everett? Oh, shoot. Well, Everett runs the union. Well, I won't say the union did anything. So, even though the union, the dockworkers union, were the ones that hung him up there." Yeah. Although, again, I'm still suspicious about how the guy actually died. I'm still suspicious that they didn't actually kill him. Like they hung him up there, yes, but I think he was already dead when they hung him up there. In order to disguise how he actually died. That bit is still a mystery. Anyway, moving on.
This is all he knows.
Yeah. Okay. Are we done here, Gary? I guess that's the last option here.
Yes, absolutely. I will never do anything like this again. I won't mess with Mr. Clare either. You have my word.
Yeah, he looks around, relieved of some bird in his mouth still quivering. Yeah. Honestly, I did not expect the conversation with Gary the crypto-fascist to go anywhere. I was almost tempted to just say, do I even want to talk to this guy? Someone whose name is Gary the Crypto Fascist. But yeah, it turned out to be fruitful. So how about that? When they roughed him up, his victim smashed his head in with a pan or something similar. I don't know. I'm still I haven't ruled out the fact that he just straight up died of a drug overdose. Like what's her name? Classio was saying that the two of them were doing a lot of drugs together, and you know, maybe like my theory is maybe he just died of a drug overdose when the two of them were together, and the dock workers decided to you know, hang him up to make it look like something different happened, you know, like, and it made up the story about him raping her so that they can they had an excuse to do it, and no one would question how he really died. That's, you know, it's just a theory. It's just me speculating. There are all kinds of there's lots of stuff that we haven't ruled out. What did you find on the body? I mean, aside from the boots, is this another leading question? Um, yeah, I'm not even. What did you find in the body? I mean, there's the industrial cable around his neck. The boots he was wearing. Not sure what you're getting at there. No, just curious. Well, I mean, I wasn't able to complete the investigation of the body to my satisfaction because I got a series of bad rolls, and then I couldn't find a fridge to put the body in. So I said, screw it, just take it to processing. So yeah, I wasn't able to investigate it fully, unfortunately. I'm sure I missed stuff on the body, but oh well. I guess we're done. I guess we're done with. I mean, these are all repeats of the same same options. I no longer have the option about the you know, yellow man mug. So I guess I can't pick up those sub options again. I'm just gonna say thank you for your cooperation. And if new items in my inventory, there it is. Fairweather T500 Cuirass. Vitreous enamel cuirass fits snugly and redistributes kinetic energy across its countless white plates. Amazingly, it fits under your coat, and it also makes pretty porcelain sounds when shaken. And it boosts pain threshold and volition while I lose a point in empathy. And I can go ahead and wear, hey, I can wear evidence. I got the suit and I've got the gloves. T500 gauntlets, T500 cuirass. Do I get extra stat bonuses if I assemble the full set? It feels wrong to be wearing evidence, but I'll keep in mind that I have the option to boost my pain threshold and volition if I ever need to. What's this? Something checked off over here? Oh, okay, that's in the done category. Cool. Okay. Should I offer to look after Morel's insect traps?
Hello. What can I do for you, officer?
Did you know Gary was hiding the armor? Is it even worth asking him at this point? I guess it doesn't hurt to ask.
Hell no. I had no idea. And I'm still cross with him, to be honest. It's not like him. He's got his quirks, but dishonesty, disloyalty are not one of them.
Thanks.
The man mutters in the distance. He doesn't dare say more.
He's still glad his friend stood up for him.
Yeah. Yeah, so what if we check the traps for you?
I didn't expect you to take such an interest in our work here, officer.
He looks at you with obvious surprise. Cryptozoology and detective work are very similar. Yeah, right. Chaos is my method. I am its scion. That's hilarious. I am all in with this cryptid shit. I'm hooked. I'm its scion. Yeah. uh, Chaos is my method. It's part of the Jamrock Shuffle. We're gonna shuffle on over here and check the traps. Let's go with cryptozoology and detective work are very similar. I mean, we're probably going to be in this area for a while regardless. So, yeah.
Yes, indeed. Both require a great deal of research, attention to detail, and, above all, persistence.
What are these traps? What do I do if there's a phasmid in one of the traps? What if I encounter the phasmid in the wild? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Where are these traps? Like, what? How many of these does he have around? Yeah, where are these traps?
There are 4 in total. One is to the south, on this little peninsula, by the boathouses there. It's very near.
Okay, he points south. By the boathouses, you say. Okay, I'll keep an eye out for that.
Another we set in Land's End, to the northeast. It's behind a small sand dune there, on your way to the old radio tower, after the church.
Okay. Land's End, northeast, behind a small sand. On the way to the old radio tower after the church. Yeah, we haven't seen the church. We keep hearing about the church on this in this landmass here. This has got to be a pretty big area. Detective Notsky once again. Yeah. Okay, behind a small sand dune. Okay, so we just have to keep that in mind. On the way to the radio tower after the church. So it's between the church and the radio tower. Okay.
The third is set near the canal, where you crossed, by a concrete slab. A big thicket of reeds going up the slope, and among them...
He gestures to the trap in front of him. Okay. So he said 4 traps. Presumably this is one of them, so that covers all 4 of them, right? Or did you mean 4 other traps?
You should check at least one of those before returning to this one, since I just said it. This one's more of a technicality, but still, better safe and stupid than sorry.
Yeah.
That seems like a lot. Do we really have time for this extracurricular venture?
Of course we do. The pursuit of knowledge is its own justification. Or what? Aren't you having fun? Kim getting annoyed again with the cryptid stuff. It's like, why are we wasting time with this? Hey, you may think it's a waste of time. We found the victim's armor. We found evidence. That's something. Let's go with what? Aren't you having fun?
Even relative to examining a weak old corpse, I'm not sure mucking about in the reeds qualifies as fun. But have it your way, detective.
Yeah. Comparing it to examining a week old corpse. It's not, that's ouch. You're saying like looking for cryptid traps, examining a week old corpse. He's like, I don't know. Anyway, what do I do if there's a phasmid in one of the traps?
Bring it to me at once. Just make sure the trap is closed tight.
Wouldn't it be fun to mess with them and say, oh, I caught one, but it got loose while I was bringing it over here. Anyway.
He's not comfortable with the possibility that you'll claim the find.
Yeah.
And he's lying about this even to himself.
Yeah. What if I encounter the phasmid in the wild?
That's highly unlikely, officer. But in the event you do, I'll spray you with a pheromone mixture I developed.
He takes out a small white spray can? Pheromone mixture? Okay.
It's made of musk and research chemicals. The pheromone should attract the insect to you, or at least prevent it from bolting at the sight of you. It's quite potent. Will last you about a week.
Must have been a week, okay. I saw a purple flash there. Was that I don't know. Lay it on me thick, present your armpit. or lay it on me. Or I don't want this, thank you very much. Just pick the middle option, lay it on me.
Wise choice.
He doesn't say wise choice here, but anyway. He does you with the odd-smelling spray and then gives you a satisfied nod.
I hope you're not buying this. He dispenses it without letting you touch the canister, so it would be precious like holy water.
Was the voice actor for Kim supposed to say this out loud? Tint wrinkles his nose. He dispenses it without letting you touch the canister, so it would be precious like. I don't know, whatever. Like if like that line, he dispenses it without letting you touch the canister. It sort of makes it feel like that was supposed to be internal monologue and not Kim's actual line. Weird. Anyway.
It is precious. A single dose cost me 50 real to develop. Not that I expect you to understand self-financing one's own research.
He looks at the tent with a disdain, then puts the spray back in his pocket. Okay, well maybe Kim did say it out loud. It just felt like an odd line. Anyway, I'm ready. Let's get to it.
Right, which means you two can pack up and go back to the whirling.
Whatever he thinks about this detour, it's clear that these men are exhausted and in need of assistance.
Finally, someone's talking sense.
Thank you for your help. Gary and I will start breaking down camp. If you have any more questions, now's the time to ask. We'll be gone once you get to it.
Well, I mean, we've asked him about all the things, so I'll get going. Cool. All right. So let's find these traps. Okay, so he said, okay, there's one. Okay, I'm gonna backtrack first to find the ones here. He said there's one by the boats. There you go. This wasn't here before, or at least I didn't have the option of looking at it.
There's a trap in the reeds at your feet. Looks like the same one you saw Morel set before. Same mesh, same wiring.
Save? I guess I can do that. I'll do that after this dialogue option here. Look around, I guess?
Behind you, the ruins of a residential building loom over the reeds. They whisper amongst themselves, confidentially. Snowflakes cling to their shivering stems.
Okay. Reach for the trap, I guess?
Locusts are crawling around in the trap, confused but uneaten. You see no carnivorous reed phasmid gorging on them.
No.
Big surprise. Anyway, one down, 3 to go.
Ted grins mirthlessly. Damn, I was hoping it would be in the first one. Or, no need to grin. I'm not expecting to find anything. I'm helping some citizens and getting some fresh air. It'll be in the next one, surely. Or say nothing, just put the trap down. No need to grin. I'm not expecting to find anything. I'm helping some citizens getting some fresh air. Let's go with that.
I meant no offense, just...
The tent doesn't know how to finish the sentence. He looks at you putting the trap back on the ground. And, okay. Leave. There we go. So that's one trap down. Yeah, because he said there's one by the boathouses. He said there was one by the canal lock. Oh wait, this is. Oh yeah, wasn't there a roll here? Oh yeah, it was the bullet holes. Yeah.
Is spread across the crack
Visual
wall,
calculus.
reaching from one corner to the other.
Yeah, it's. I might come back to that later. I failed my visual calculus roll. I mean, presumably somebody set up a firing squad here. That's what all those bullet holes are about. But there was seemingly something that Harry could determine by using his visual calculus skill. Anyway, yeah, so let's head back over to the waterlock, check the trap there, and then we'll proceed on our normal mission, which would have been heading in the direction of where the church and stuff was anyway. That looks like a bottle on the ground there. I have the the bag in hand, but it's not letting me pick it up. Yeah, well. Shoot, did I go the wrong way? Oh no, this is the right way. Oh right, yeah, you said save. I mean, I guess I could save, sure. Why not? I mean, it's been auto-saving anyway, and I don't really intend to reload. So... there it is. Huh, I walked right past it on the way in here.
A familiar apparatus lies among the reeds. Another one of Morel's traps, weighed down by stones to keep it in place.
Look around.
The reeds bend forlornly toward the sand. Some tufts have been crushed. Snow covers the broken stalks like a shroud. In the east, the city center hums to you. The constant, distant song, louder on this part of the coast, nearer somehow. And there's that cold again. Always the cold.
Okay, reach for the trap.
This trap is also full of panicked locusts. No sign of any cryptozoological beast inside.
Very picturesque, yeah.
Another empty trap.
Lieutenant takes a note, more out of habit than duty. Let's keep going. The next one is the lucky one. Or, how are you enjoying the cardio, Lieutenant? I'm quite enjoying it myself. Or, again, I wanted to make it absolutely clear that I don't really believe the phasmid exists, okay? Or say nothing, just put the trap down. I mean, I don't believe the phasmid exists. Should I make that clear? Or should I just make a fun comment about getting cardio? We can all use exercise. Exercise is important. I could do some more cardio myself, to be honest. Especially since, you know, the pandemic started, I spent a lot of time sitting at home. I mean, well, and for that matter, I've been unemployed for the last little bit. So, like, yeah, that also... Anyway, moving on. Absolutely clear. I mean, it's giving me the option to say it, so let's just, yeah, I want to make absolutely clear I don't really believe the phasmid exists, okay?
Of course. Noted.
He looks at you incredulously as you place the trap back in the reeds. Incredulously, you say? Did you not believe me? Lena cries a single tear. Okay, anyway. And then we leave. Inspect the traps. Yeah, so we inspected the two. Oh yeah, it tells me where they are. There you go. So we need to find the one at Land's End, far northeast of the Feld building. Alright, backtracking again. Let's just go back where I was. I'll inspect this stuff later. I want to circle around. There's a thing to look at over here. Footprints in the snow. They lead away from the accident. Okay. Oh, those footprints. Yeah, that reminds me. When we were... Oh, yeah. I saw a thought pop up. Creaking ahead, a broken axle grinding. Yeah, it looks like there's an accident here. Wasn't there a little purple thought bubble that popped up? Might have been the other one. I saw a... I got distracted. It was either this trap or the other trap. When I went to inspect it, a little purple thought bubble popped up and I neglected to click it. How much do you want to bet that it's always the last one? I mean, I'm sort of I'm not really expecting to find the phasmid. Like it's like I as no thought this time. I wonder what it was. Oh well. I guess I had to click it before clicking the trap. Whatever. Yeah, so I'll come back and check that one last. Right now we're just checking out the surrounding area. Oh, can I not go any further this way? Okay. Thought that the church and stuff was supposed to be northeast. Okay. I guess I have to circle around to it. There's the guy with the uncanny knowledge of history and technology and stuff that made me question the timeline of the game. Because he made a reference to cybernetics, and I was like, wait, what? Like, when you hear cybernetics, I'm thinking about, like, biomechanical implants and stuff, and I'm thinking, wait, that sounds like much more futuristic technology than we've seen so far, you know?
The remaining windows rattle from a strong gust of wind. They're covered in a thick layer of grime. They must have been like this for 40 years.
Okay, try to see inside.
Dripping water falls from a high place. All you can see is the shadow of a collapsing staircase.
Lieutenant, can you make out what's inside? Point at the windows.
No. I won't even try. You know,
The windows are on the frames. He takes his glasses off. How is his eyesight?
I had a partner once. They called him Eyes because he had to show me things. It's that bad.
Oh, really? Yeah, I mean, the some of the dialogue options at the end, like talking to Kim, I had the option of bring attention to his glasses, but I didn't because it felt rude. But yeah, his eyesight is that bad, eh? Maybe that's why he follows me around so much and like follows my lead and everything. He really can't see. Makes it a little worrying that he's driving. You know, he has a car. Anyway, can you still shoot though, or just not? Can you still shoot though?
Well enough, actually. It's odd how that works. I'm no sharpshooter, but I pass my shooting courses 7 out of 10.
Yeah, sharpshooter Kim. Well, not almost sharpshooter Kim. That's neat. 7 out of 10 is I mean, not that I'm an expert in these things, but I hear that's a pretty good ratio. There's a staircase inside. Can I get there? I just clicked it and he's how's your pathfinding, Harry? No, he just walked over here and then stopped. Okay. Okay, well, let's stick to the boardwalk here. Let's keep left hand while mazing this. And aha, there's an entry point. And there's a jacket hanging on the fence here? What's this?
Someone has left an unidentifiable article of clothing on this railing. It smells really bad.
Okay, touch it or take a closer look. Regular shooter Kim. Yeah, there you go.
It's streaked with dried seagull shit and tangled with pieces of seaweed. A dangling arm suggests that there might be a jacket beneath the crust of filth.
Oh, lovely. Okay. Tangled with a piece of seaweed, does that imply that somebody pulled this out of the water? I mean, not sure why. Okay, well, continue.
Please tell me you're not taking that with you.
It's covered in seagull poo. Why not? It might be a clue. I mean, hey, we found part of the armor on a neighboring island or neighboring peninsula, I suppose. So hey, some you are finding clues in unexpected places. Might be a clue. Let's go with it. Might be a clue.
A clue? You think our suspect is a seagull who's been defecating on unsuspecting jackets?
It could have been multiple seagulls. Yeah, maybe he was hanged by a pile of seagulls in a coat, standing on each other's shoulders. uh, I, I, um, I, I'm gonna go with it could have been multiple seagulls. Lieutenant sighs. It's like, what are you doing?
You should still take it.
Hey, it backed me out of it. Well, I'm putting on my interfacing gloves if I'm taking it. Filthy jacket. Use interact button in inventory to inspect the item? Okay. Item gained. Filthy jacket. Filthy rag has been at the mercy of the elements for quite some time. It's streaked with seagull shit and abnormally stiff from God knows what natural processes. You can't even tell what brand it is. Okay, interact.
As you hold it in your hands, it makes an uncomfortable crunching sound.
This just gets better and better. This is just fun, yeah. Just be sure to save before you pick it up. Oh, oops. Can just disrespect you more and more. I know. We're just letting him down again and again. Talking to the cryptid enthusiasts. But hey, it led to us getting a piece of the arbor, so. Okay. Man, how did this jacket get so disgusting? Or let's not think about that right now and put the jacket away. No, we have. Okay, inquire. How did this jacket get so disgusting?
It's a sordid, filthy tale, not for the weak. Are you sure you can stomach it? Some secrets are better left uncovered. Don't even try. Seriously.
Composure is recommending I don't even try. See, this just goes to show. I mean, these voices in my head here don't always give good advice. Think about it or don't think about it. I wouldn't. I'm gonna go for it. Think about it.
It occurs to you that you're not even holding the jacket itself, but rather the thick crust of jetsam and seagull shit that ensconces it.
Oh, great. Maybe I shouldn't have thought about it.
It smells like a dead sea creature, tangled in grey strands of seaweed. It must have spent quite some time in the water before the tide deposited it ashore.
Sure, but somebody had to have hung it on top of the fence here. Gross, but okay. But what's the crust made of? Is he gonna throw up again?
Somehow, it was carried or dragged to the boardwalk. If not by human hands, then perhaps the feral dogs that prowl the beaches at night.
I'm thinking human hands. I mean, I don't think a dog would have draped it so over the fence like that. Ick. Yeah, indeed. Okay, it's pretty disgusting. I've had enough.
Why? Why did you think about it? Look at your hands. They're covered in muck.
Yeah, that's why I put the gloves on. Ew, 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 flick your hands, or maybe if I wipe my hands on my pants, go with the flicking hands option. That's what the gloves are for, darn it.
Now you're just flicking that shit everywhere. This is a disaster. You'll never get the smell out.
Well, good thing I wore gloves. Darn it. Wait, what do you mean end? Is that it? Hold on. Interact again.
As you hold it in your hands, it makes an uncomfortable crunching sound.
Why did I fall into the shit jacket again?
There is no why.
Let's just put it away then. Wait, that's my only option? Come on. It was it's an interactable object which I found. And this is an adventure game where, you know, that means there has to be something I can do with it.
As you hold it in your hands, it makes an uncomfortable crunching sound.
That's it? Let's not think about that right now. Put the filthy jacket away.
Probably better that way.
I'm still I mean, that's the way these things go. It's gonna just quick travel unlocked. Oh, neat. how do I quick travel? That's something I'll have to check out. I haven't seen a quick travel option show up anywhere. Is it from the map, perhaps? Oh, okay. So I can click on Church, Fisherman Shacks, Martinez Waterfront. Oh, neat. Okay. Cool. Well, I'll keep that in mind. Shoot. I should... I could have quick traveled back and forth instead of running all that way at the beginning of this session. Oops. I keep rubbing my hands in this seagull poop. Why isn't anything happening? Exactly. It's it's a travesty of justice. Did any of these things unlock? Just the map wall, ceiling, barred door, yeah. Padlock door, ward door, barred door. Which door is which? Yeah, I think the padlock one is the one I never tried, and the other two are the ones I already opened. Then there's the cargo container door. Still feel like there's got to be something significant there. Oh well. Anyway, what do we got here? Money and tear, which will be exchanged for money. And what have we here? More tear. Woohoo! Just rolling in the money here today. What have we here? Mega Binos prescription lenses? +2 encyclopedia, -1 perception? Whose idiotic idea were square and beige plastic frames anyway? Beige is a color that does not look good on anyone. Not to mention that seeing the world through these exceedingly thick lenses feels almost nauseating. And discover your inner bino. That's amazing. Like, I've got the encyclopedia hat on. Encyclopedia skill makes you suddenly able to remember, random trivia facts. So it's kind of funny. Like, you just put these glasses on and suddenly you're smarter. Nausea-inducing hell glasses. No, I should. Shoot, I feel like I should be reading these descriptions here. +1 logic, balancing the books, -30, filthy boho, probably a narcomaniac. +1 half-light, unfiltered contact. +1 logic, good with numbers. +1 suggestion, eye captain. -1 half-light of officerial poise. I haven't read all these things. +1 physical instrument, work it. Extra speed of color, halogen watermarks. Halogen watermarks. Oh, does that mean this can be held under the headlights as well? Inland Empire, vivid imagination. Putting the tie on gives you better hunches. +1 empathy, feel the streets. -1 logic, leave the reason behind. +1 savoir-faire, tight around the thighs. -1 on the savoir-faire, tight around the thighs. +1 electrochemistry, tight around the crotch. Dazzling reflexes. Oh, neat. Okay, this boosts your savoir-faire. Yeah. -1 visual calculus, the mirror lies. +2 interfacing strength and digits. +2 logic, ultimate peak focus. -1 perception, eyes on the road. Okay, yeah, because it's the helmet which helps you focus. It takes out your peripheral vision. +1 visual calculus, eye of the reckoner. -1 drama, a bit dry. +1 pain threshold, thicker skin. +1 volition, borrowed confidence. -1 empathy, mania of invulnerability. +1 composure, awesome. Watchtower heals. -1 savoir-faire, heals ridiculously high. +1 interfacing, bye bugs. +2 drama, theater kid. These are funny. I should have read these a long time ago. These are funny. X encyclopedia, book smart. Empathy, M knife locks blues, and +1 hand-eye coordination. There's no explanation behind that one. Drama shirt, clinically insane. Okay. Pants, +1 kingdom of conscious moralist pants. Cool. Okay. What have we here? Vagrants have recently painted the tarp red. Water drips from it. And what have we here? A coin-operated weighing machine. Hasn't been used for a decade. I made a series of these stats, flavor text for DDLC accessories a while back. Good times. Yeah? Yeah. You mean like for Natsuki Quest or just generally? What have we here? It's another weighing machine. Oh, it has something in it. A postcard from Courant. Courant 33. This one has hell written on its back. It could not be further from the truth. It's the boom years, and Courant, the nicest district in Rivershaw West, is enjoying a sun-drenched day. Tall and handsome buildings rise from the riverside, steel, iron, and yellow limestone, with cloud shadows sliding on the facades. Cool. And I can sell it for 0.20 Real. Link you in the CM Discord later? Cool. Makeshift roof. Vagrants have tried to make the boardwalk habitable. Yeah. Oh, I see money on that table there. I see you, money. The money's is mines. Or something. Big wine canister. It's open and empty. Oh, it just leads to a dead end. I thought... Oh, we have two thoughts now.
The smell. It's awful and familiar.
Hold on, that is awful. Cover your nose. No, don't cover your nose. You're still wearing the seagull shit stained gloves. I should probably put the other gloves back on. Isn't it just the rotting fish?
Don't be naive.
Oh no. What is it then? Let's go with oh no.
Don't you recognize it? That hideous pungency. That faintly cloying sweetness. Only death smells like that.
Death smells like that. Oh. Is there another body here or something?
Something cold wakes in the pit of your stomach. Fear.
A stiff, yeah. Heads up, Lieutenant. Something's not right here.
The lieutenant has already brought a handkerchief to his nose.
He must have a backup handkerchief because he gave me mine earlier. Yeah, which reminds me, let's put the let's put the half-light gloves on. Careful there, these floorboards look rotten and weak. Okay, before we go any further, I'm going to use the washroom. I will be right back. And back again. Okay, alright, so we're smelling some decomp here. Expecting to find a dead person. Or dead animal. Let's talk to this individual here, I guess. If they're alive.
A man
Oh.
lies on the boardwalk, his limbs bent and neck turned at an unnatural angle. Right next to him is an empty bottle of spirits. In his cramped hand, a chewing gum wrapper.
Okay, yeah, wasn't expecting to find a corpse here. His limbs bent and neck turned at an unnatural angle, so, like, someone beat the crap out of him, basically, sounds like. Well, crap, I guess I should have put those... I changed out of those gloves too quickly. In his cramped hand, a chewing gum wrapper.
Half of his body has slipped between the cracked boardwalk, starting with the right leg. The fall has left him broken, contorted like a sad puppet.
Okay, so is this suggesting that did he fall? Like his leg went through the board and then he hit his head, or did someone beat him up? It said his limbs and his neck are turned at unnatural angles, or maybe I'm misreading this. And his limb. No, the phrasing makes it sound like both his limbs and his neck are turned at unnatural angles.
The smell is not as bad as a 2-week-old corpse, but it's definitely heading there.
Huh.
Hold on.
Lieutenant squats next to the corpse and examines his face. Two bulging eyes stare back at him, void of any signs of life.
Lividity is faintly pronounced. Whoever this is has been dead for 2 days. No longer. We need to investigate.
He stands up and shivers as a gust of wind blows through his bomber jacket. Okay, dead guy sitting here for 2 days. Nobody reported him.
Another dead body. This is your job. Steel yourself. Calm now. Carefully. Just another day. Just another dead body. Breathe.
Okay, well, I want to hold on. I think I want to put on the visual calculus glasses then. Empathy, logic, visual calculus. Here we go. Let's put on the hunch tie. Interfacing. Okay, we have our team. We have the teamwork code. It's empathy and hand-eye coordination. Or we can, yeah. Let's put on the teamwork and tune in with the city code. Logic shirt, conceptualization shirt. I'm taking a logic hit from the Superstar Cop thing, but where is my logic score right now? Is that 3? Yeah, it's in the middle. Interfacing gloves. The armor gloves give me +2 interfacing, whereas these give me +1. But it feels wrong to be wearing evidence. Like this is evidence left over from the from the murder. So I don't know. It feels wrong to wear them, but I'm just gonna put these ones on. +1 logic, -1 authority. Got the visual calculator. Trying to mix and match all the clothing that I've. What does this even mean? +1 to indirect modes of taxation. Yeah, I don't even know what that means. Okay, all right. Let's examine this guy.
A man lies on the boardwalk, his limbs bent and neck turned at an unnatural angle.
Study the surroundings.
There's some dried blood on the metal bench, right where the corpse's head rests. The floorboards are rotten and slippery wet around the hole. An empty bottle lies nearby. A chewing gum wrapper is clutched in his fist.
Yeah, like it sort of feels like the game is trying to lead me to believe, like it's commenting on the rotten and slippery floorboards, and the empty bottle. Like maybe he was drunk and just slipped and hit his head, kind of thing.
Be very, very careful where you step there.
Okay. Step on the floorboards? I mean, carefully, presumably?
They screech under your feet ominously. It's hard to say whether the dead man's weight was the cause of the boardwalk to break. It definitely looks fragile. You see waves churning below. Something cracks beneath your feet. He could have easily disappeared into the sea through that hole, and you would have never found him.
Yeah. Hey, visual calculus 10. My visual calculus score is just high enough to make this determination. Thanks to the glasses. If my visual calculus score had been higher, I wonder if I would have gotten a different message or something. I feel like I want to play the game again, only like this, like the next time have some of my stats maxed out to see if I get new messages. Like start with some maxed out and some minned out. like have a game where I like all my intellect is maxed out, but everything else is minimal. And then something where like with all the physical ones are maxed out and everything else is minimal, or so on. Just go through the game 4 more times. See what kind of different results I can get. Anyway. Yeah, so I want to examine the surroundings before I examine the body itself, I think. Examine the bottle.
A .75 liter Tallulah vodka with its cap missing. There's hardly anything left inside.
If you have no physical durability, you die when physical air. Could be.
Tear all around us.
Don't say that. You're gonna be I'm gonna attempt to tempted to make money off of him. He looks at 2 other bottles near the coin-operated viewer, then at your yellow plastic bag. Is that really what you want to focus on now, Kim, rather than, instead of the corpse here?
I'd prefer if you didn't collect them this time. It's not proper.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Kim.
True. It feels disrespectful.
No kidding. Examine the chewing gum wrapper. What's up with that? It keeps drawing attention to it.
Grabowski spearmint chewing gum. Green leaves on the cover. The man's mouth is half agape from the terror of the fall.
Look in.
The blackness of death. Stench. You think you see white chewing gum too?
He's chewing gum when he died, I guess. His last act was to unwrap the gum. Why the chewing gum wrappers in his hand?
He ate the whole pack, right? It's to cover the smell of alcohol before going home. The worst thing is...
...
I've seen it before. Almost the same scenario. Even the chewing gum. It's always the same.
The lieutenant shudders from the cold. Almost the same scenario, you say? Like, what, a dead guy who fell while chewing gum? Wait a second, is this that gag about he can't walk and chew gum at the same time? I mean, I know there's that's a common joke to say someone is clumsy by saying they can't walk and chew gum at the same time. Is that a real thing? Are there people who are so uncoordinated that they actually cannot walk and chew gum at the same time? And they fall down and die? What an embarrassing way to die. That's what's gonna be his eulogy. It's gonna go on his tombstone. Could not walk and chew gum at the same time. No, he's never coming back to home, at least not the one on this earth. I mean, yeah. Anyway. Examine the man's head.
A dried chunk of blood covers the hair at the back of his head. An open wound. It's sticky and cold to your touch.
An open wound. Okay. Did he bleed out, or like did he have? Did he get concussed to death? Like he's bleeding internally into his brain, or anyway.
I don't see any other major wounds, do you?
Hard to say, or no, just this one at the back of his head. I mean, we haven't fully examined him yet, but so I'm gonna say it's hard to say.
Seems like the head wound was fatal. It's exactly the shape of the bench.
Okay, so step back.
The entire boardwalk creaks in the wind as you take a step back.
Study the man's clothes.
He's wearing mud-caked boots, beige trousers, and an old brown leather jacket with a bright blue lining. There are traces of kebab sauce on his chest.
Sorry, I got distracted when the scene suddenly changed. Was that a weather change thing? Or a graphical card error? I don't know. Anyway. Bright blue line. Trace of kebab sauce on his chest. Okay.
The leather jacket suits him well. It must be custom made.
Custom made jacket. Okay. Search his pockets. It's my only option.
You find some sunflower seeds and a rain-soaked library card folded into two. His jacket feels sodden and heavy under your hand.
Sunflower seeds. I mean, it's probably implying that he was snacking on them, I guess. I can't help being reminded of the invasion of Ukraine. There was that old woman who was openly condemning the Russian soldiers to their faces, saying, put some seeds in your pockets so that when you die they'll grow, or something like that. Just showing utter contempt for the Russian military occupying her country. Anyway, a rain-soaked library card, you say? Jack feels sodden heavy under your hand. Let me guess, she vanished? Oh, the old lady? I don't think so. I mean, in the video clip that I saw, the Russian soldiers looked like they weren't really taking her seriously. Like they just kind of just stood there and let her shout herself into silence. If they decided to vanish her, I'm not aware of it. It's a video clip that kind of went viral back when the invasion started. Anyway, moving on.
Good. We should take a look at that library card after this is done.
Yeah, it might have his name. If it doesn't have his name on it, it at least will have, I don't know, a number or some kind of identification that they can run by the library and find out who he is, who he was. Or maybe we can just use it to borrow books. No, I'm kidding. Study the man himself.
The man has fallen through a crack in the boardwalk and hit his head against the metal bench. Coagulated blood covers his black hair. One of his feet is still dangling through the hole.
Okay. I mean, this seems to be drawing the conclusion that yes, that is how he died.
When damp, these boards are really slippery. Even a sober man could lose their balance here.
Loose their balance here? That appears to be a typo. +1. No, I'm kidding. I would have put a comma after damp. Oh no, I slipped into proofreading mode. Examine his face.
His expression is dull, like the sea behind him. Drops of water shining on his moustache. His eyes, empty and wide, look frightening in their frozen gaze. Height, 170 to 175 centimeters. Curly hair, stout build. Age, approximately 50 to 60 years.
Should we be writing this down? Or we didn't say that out loud. When I had a seizure once, I was bringing my library card with me. When I woke up in hospital later on, I didn't have it anymore. Huh. That's curious. Somebody borrowing books in your name? Also, I didn't know you were prone to seizures. Sorry to hear that. Anyway, I mean, you said you were bringing it with you. Maybe like it was in your hand, like you dropped it, maybe. Anyway, who's this man? What do you think happened here? What should we do with him? Let's start with what do you think happened here? I mean, I think we sort of reached a conclusion already anyway.
Death by misadventure. He slipped and fell through the boardwalk. A truly unfortunate accident. If it wouldn't have been for that bench, he'd be alive.
Yeah, exactly. Could be related to the lynching. Do you think he was drunk? Point the bottle. What about the kebab? Someone should be held responsible for this broken boardwalk. It's dangerous. Oh, there were emergency workers called. That's probably how they were able to identify. Oh, okay, yeah. Maybe someone took it for identity purposes and forgot to return it. Depending on how long ago it was, maybe you can still get it back. Anyway, this is one of those moments where the game is going to judge me based on which option I choose first. Like, I'm going to say, someone should be held responsible for this broken boardwalk. It's dangerous. Like, am I looking to blame someone or blame the victim? Do you think he was drunk? Or ask about something totally unrelated? What about the kebab? Like, but because he has sauce on the front of his shirt? Apparently there was a knock at the door the next day. Maybe a policeman was trying to return it? Oh, okay. Like, okay, like, I don't really want to ask, could it be related to lynching? Because that seems like a dumb question. Like, this sort of seems like obviously unrelated, but I sort of want to pick those sometimes it seems to be fruitful to pick the dumb options. Anyway, let's go with, do you think he was drunk?
Oh, yes.
Lieutenant nods. What about alcohol poisoning and liver failure? Why is this my only option?
Some symptoms of acute alcohol poisoning could have definitely played a role here. Severe confusion, respiratory depression, unpredictable behavior.
Yeah, it could be contributing factors, sure.
But I think that death arrived through head trauma, not liver failure.
Yeah. Should I pick all these options? Should I just go through all of them? Someone should be held responsible. Yeah, let's go for it.
They'll seal this place off after the news reaches the coalition officials.
Yeah.
I doubt that they have enough resources to actually repair the boardwalk.
Well, yeah, that would be a major undertaking. I mean, there's a lot of boardwalk, and we've well established that this community does not have a lot of money. Is this I don't know? Should you? What you mean picking the dumb options? This may seem cold again, but all I can say is that this wasn't me. Yeah. Hey, I mean, Harry was reportedly kind of drunk off his ass the other day, so maybe it could have been him. Anyway.
Not that sealing it off would keep anyone away. All it does is keep the city council's hands clean.
He smiles sourly. He said, should I go through and ask all of these questions? That's my response. Yeah, I mean, like there's a right to conclude, or I can whatever. What about the kebab? It seems it's like a silly question. You never know when you're going to get experience for things, so I'm going to pick it.
What about it? The deceased ate some kebab. It's probably from a nearby place, maybe in the parks.
What about it? It's like, yeah, like why is that even an option? He ate kebab, so what? Could be related to the lynching. I'm like, of course not, but let's pick it anyway.
No, I don't see anything that points in that direction. For now, let's treat this case as a simple, albeit sad, accident, unrelated to the murder case.
Yeah.
Yes, but what if there's a killer on the loose? 2 suspicious deaths in such a short time frame.
We should consider the possibility that we're dealing with a sequence killer here. That seems like a stretch. Or you're right, connecting it with the lynching is a stretch. Yeah. Oh, hey, that's what I said. um, yeah, Half-Light hasn't showed itself to have good suggestions. It's just a stretch. It is indeed. I mean, that's what I've been saying. Uh, it's interesting that the game gives me the option of trying to connect them, though. I'm going to say connecting is a stretch.
Without any further evidence, yes.
Exactly. Yeah, unless there's more evidence, then yeah. Okay, right, conclude.
It does seem to be a pretty straightforward misadventure, although there's still a question of identifying the body.
Yeah, well, we've got his library card, so that should help. Who is this man?
Looks like one of the locals. He'd have to know this spot to come here. You don't just walk over here.
He looks south the way he came. I mean, you might just walk over here. Well, okay. There are visible holes in the boards, so yeah, it is like visibly like kind of dangerous to come out here. But on the other hand, I don't know. A tourist might want to step out here to get a look at the ocean. Yeah. Could be homicide, but probably not to do with the lynching. Yeah. I mean, when the initial description said his limbs are bent at odd angles, which made me think, oh, someone beat the crap out of him. But looking at it again, I think his leg it fell through the board and hit his head. So, yeah.
But that's just a lazy assumption. What do you think?
This is an omen, a sign from above that you need to stop drinking.
Huh. A sign from above that you need to stop drinking? Yeah. He looks like me. I could have ended up like him, dead on some empty boardwalk with a bottle next to my corpse. Oof. Or looks like just another old drunkard to me. Or I think labeling him as an alcoholic is a bit premature. We don't know anything about anything yet. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, just because he was drinking at the time doesn't necessarily mean he was an alcoholic. When I have a seizure, I don't make any real controllable movement. Could have been me. Another old drunkard to me, or labeling him as alcoholics premature. We don't know anything yet. Should I make it about myself here? He even has a similar age. You determined him to be like 50, 60 years old. Yeah. Let's go with that. He looks like me. He could have ended up just like him, dead on some empty boardwalk with a bottle next to my corpse.
Well, at least you're not married.
Gosh darn it. Got a morale hit from that. Well, shoot. I have to keep in mind, I can't pick options which are so self-deprecating. And what's this? Well, at least you're not married. Lieutenant points at the ring on the man's left hand. Oh, okay. The flesh around it is swollen and gray. When he said, "Well, at least you're not married," my first thought was, "Wait a second. Is Kim married? Is he saying that his marriage sucks?" I think he's saying that dead guy was married because he has a wedding ring. Sorry, I mean, you can. Yeah, I'm not sure which part the you can is referring to. Like making it, you can make it about me kind of thing. Healing items are like $1 a piece, 80 cents if you buy a 3-pack, and you got like $40 now. Yeah, true. It's true. I mean, I can afford the morale here. Let's just heal back up. I'm gonna leave that point unhealed because periodically I get morale heals from conversations. So.
Or what if you are?
Or what if you are? I mean, evidence we've seen sort of indicates like maybe we were married in the past. It seems like it's ended. That's what the indicators were. I wouldn't waste money on these items unless you absolutely have to. I did buy a few more of these in the previous session. Anyway.
But let's try to not run ahead. For now, all we know is that he's an unidentified middle-aged man found dead on Martinez Boardwalk.
Yeah. What should we do with him? I mean, Kim already answered that. He said we should cordon off this area so that until you know, whoever can show up to deal with the body. Yeah, I mean, you could also use the money on buying other things too, Shrugged, so you don't have to avoid them. Oh yeah. I mean, it's true. I mean, I do have plenty of money to spend on that, but at the same time, I have, you know, I have hoarding instincts. I have frugal instincts which I don't want to. I don't want to spend money if I don't have to. I don't know. Anyway, let's go with what should we do with them.
From where I stand, I can see two options. We either take the case and follow the leads to identify the body on our own, or we report back to the station and leave this for our colleagues to handle.
Hold on, what about field autopsy? Or we found him, we should finish this, take the case. Or let's leave this case for the station. I don't want to spend time on it, or don't take the case. I still need some time to decide how I want to sell this case and return to this later. Huh. Interesting that the game gives me the option. We can investigate this guy ourselves, or we can just say, nah, screw it, leave it up to the station. I mean, I'm tempted to finish it just because, you know, it adds more content, more stuff to do. Take the case, in my opinion, yeah. I don't feel right just leaving the dead body. I at least want to, you know, investigate the library card. See if we can find out his identity. Maybe somebody knows him, if he's a local. Though the fact that the body's been sitting here for 2 days makes me wonder about some things. Also, how cold is it? There's like a little iceberg here, a little sheet of ice here. It's got to be pretty cold for a block of ice to be there. Anyway, yeah, but what about a field autopsy?
A field autopsy isn't necessary if the cause of death doesn't appear to be criminal, and this looks like a simple accident to me.
Yeah, fair enough. Presumably, if I had said, well, what if it's connected to the other killing, maybe we would have had the option to do a field autopsy.
I'd say we should just write down head trauma in the autopsy report and leave it at that. It would save us at least 2 hours of unnecessary work.
Yeah. Yes, but isn't that kind of sloppy? Or you're right, I don't see anything criminal here, let's leave it at that. I sort of feel like the game is trying to urge me in the direction of making a choice I'm going to regret later. I'm going to say you're right. I don't see anything criminal here. Let's leave it at that.
Good call. The guys at processing can take care of the rest.
The guys at processing can take care of the rest. Kim seems to want us to just not take the case and just leave it. In the interest of not disappointing Kim, maybe I should let's leave it. And we kind of do have a lot on our plate in terms of, you know, dealing with the hanged man and so on. And checking cryptid traps, you know, important details like that. Do we really want to take on another case here? Like, my initial reaction is, oh yeah, let's take this, let's investigate it. But Kim's saying no, just leave it to the guys at processing. He's saying good call. The guys at processing can take care of the rest. Well, not to tell you what to do, but I don't think he's saying not to take the case. I think he's saying it doesn't have to be treated like a homicide. Yeah. Oh yeah. There was a hole in his forehead. Would that be considered suspicious? Well, I mean, whether it's forehead or the back of his head, it probably doesn't make it different. I mean, that's just happened to be the side of his head that hit the bench. Okay, I'm gonna say I need some time to decide how we want to solve the case
No need to rush.
because I want to take a look at. Just take a look around here. First, let's see what I can see here. Coin-operated viewer has been out of order for years. Okay, and what's in here?
There's some tear, an empty cigarette package, and a crumpled kebab wrapper in the trash bin.
Okay. Examine the tear.
2 empty bottles of Tallulah vodka and a can of black potent porter is all you find.
So 2 empty bottles of Tula vodka, and there's another bottle next to him. Does that suggest was he like sitting here for a while? Like was he just hanging out drinking here? Perhaps. There's a hole. Oh yeah, especially one right through. Yeah, well I mean if there's a hole all the way through his foot, then yeah, that would be more than just trauma from hitting his head on a bench. Anyway.
No, there's more in there. Livis strawberry liquor, plus some Pilsner bottles too. Better not pick them up. They seem unhygienic.
Okay. This strawberry liquor plus some bottles. Okay.
A tragedy.
Lieutenant looks in the can, eyes watering from the smell. Examine the cigarette package.
Whoever tossed it here was a heavy smoker. The brand name reads Red Astra.
Okay. Again. Oh, oops, sorry to hear that. Examine the kebab wrapper.
You see traces of mayonnaise and ketchup on it, as well as a tomato wedge. The wrapper reads Shish Kebab Revachol.
Okay.
It's no older than a day or two. No mold yet.
I.e., it's the one that he was eating, and he put the wrapper in here. Yeah, so the wrapper from the kebab he was eating with the sauce from it, which he spilled on his shirt, plus 2 bottles of the same drink that he was drinking. It seems to suggest that he was hanging out here, and if he was left unfound for 2 days, like was he just sitting out here eating and drinking alone by himself? But he still felt the need to chew gum to hide the smell of alcohol, which suggests that he was going home to somebody. I mean, he's got the wedding ring. He was, it suggests he was married. You'd think his, his wife or significant other would have taken notice of his absence. Would have. Don't you dare eat it! Ha ha ha! Yeah. Repeat as well. Yeah. By the way, I have no idea why my stream was locked on 1080 or whatever it was the other day. Yeah. Anyway.
It's hard to concentrate in the smell. The sea air brings some relief.
Anyway, yeah. I'm tempted to take the case, even though Kim suggested not doing it. I mean, at the very least, maybe we can, find his wife, let her know that, first identify the man, find out who he is, and let his wife know that that her husband died. Of course, I could save it first. In fact, you know what? We're 3 hours into this. Maybe this is a good time to end the stream. Because it is rather late here. So, holy crap, it's 4 a.m. Why do I do this to myself? I mean, I don't have anything to do the following morning, and my sleep schedule sucks. So these things just happen. Yeah. So today was mostly dedicated to investigating cryptids. Yeah, we made an important step in the process. Like, we found an armor piece, one of the armor pieces we were looking for unexpectedly, and the fact that Gary, the fact that he had access to the garbage and he's one that disposed of the clothing is interesting. I don't know if that ties into a way to help intimidate, Titus Hardy, the Hardy Boys. It could be worth a shot. Like this could actually have been an important step in the actual overall case. Anyway, even though it generally seemed like a weird diversion. um, but yeah, and then it unexpectedly turned into an investigation of another corpse. So, yeah. Again, it's curious that it was left for 2 days. No one's done anything. No one's investigated, checked it out, or reported it or anything. Like, not even his wife reported it. That seems odd. Yeah, I mean, it sort of hints at there might be something else going on there. Like, not necessarily connected to the other killing, but I mean, it could also just be that they had a strained marriage, and I don't know, something to think about. Kind of lean towards taking the case. We'll consider that. But yeah, good times though. Yeah, have a wonderful night. Yeah. You too, Trevor84. Gotta get to video stuff. Yeah, for sure. Good stream. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thanks everyone for watching. But yeah, that's it for today. Until next time.